commissioners to be sworn, we interrogate the validity and, of course, the credibility of the report. And you remember the protest of the chair and the commissioners, oh, we were not prepared, oh, we are in Ramadan, oh, that and that. Now, after that, we've been seeking to petition the commission to come for interrogation. But I can tell you, using their numbers in the committee, they would not permit that agenda to be transacted. And remember, when you raise a question in Parliament, the Speaker will tell you the matter is before the committee. The committee itself, you have a lockjam there. But that is the problem we have, and it does not run from
there. There is an institution called the fourth estate.
Yes.
If you have failed in Parliament
yes.
to have that document, which is very crucial,
yes.
as a member of Parliament,
yes.
as a lawyer, I'm asking the question, what effort have you made to make that information crucial to Kenyans so that this matter can be cleared? We know that actually there was theft by giving those statistics we are giving. We are now talking. I would request for an occasion. Remember, that is why I started. Answer that question. What effort have you made?
Call me here on a day I have the report, and you will not believe IEBC again. We are preparing to go to court. We have petitions which within the court coalition we have to deal with. Remember, we are at a startup government. We have our difficulties. We are doing everything we can do. But I can tell you, the fact that results were doctored is something duly documented, is something we are going to let the Kenyans know.
All right. Yes. I think the issue of rigging is not new. If you remember, in January 2003, CORD in fact cried wolf at that particular time by saying that we in Jubilee were planning to rig the elections. So it had already internalized its defeat at that particular moment, having gauged the public opinion in our country. Having decided that they were going to be defeated, they then went to their external supporters to build up this propaganda. And I'm afraid that now they're stuck with their own propaganda. They're beginning to believe their own propaganda. We had a better campaign. We attracted larger crowds. We had much more sleek and more organized campaign. And it was certain that Jubilee was going to carry the day, and that CORD was going to remain in opposition. Now, instead of admitting their defeat, going back to the books and try to sort out their problems, they are beginning to focus, and they're stuck on this word, rigging, rigging, rigging. I mean, the best thing for us is to move on, because the elections have taken place. Our president and our party has been elected as the ruling party in this country. The best thing is to work in the democratic space that we have in our country, instead of coming out with factitious, fake documentations, lies, distortions, deception. The public is tired of that. The public would want to have an opposition that can play its role in the democratic process that we have. Instead, every day you attack the judiciary. Willie Mutunga is this, and our Chief Justice. Hassan Isaac and the IEBC is this. And now you have brought up a completely puzzling factor in the whole equation, which is ridiculing all of you, that our own National Defense Force, which is a neutral security force serving all Kenyans, that is defending our territorial integrity, that is fighting wars against terrorists, is in fact a body that had participated in the rigging of the election. Nobody is going to believe this. So I would suggest CORD to move on. As a Democrat, I believe in an effective opposition. And to be honest, at the moment we don't have an effective opposition. The moment something hot happens in Parliament, my brother Kaluma and his colleagues just storm out as activists. They don't play their role as legislators to bring legislations and to be effective parliamentarians. They think they're street activists. They don't believe that, in fact, they have been elected to Parliament to serve the purpose of legislating and participating in the political and democratic process that we have now.
Just a question. You say you are a Democrat and you believe in an effective opposition. But when such claims as raised by Honorable Kaluma are out there, do they make you uncomfortable even as you lead this country?
Not at all, because they're not credible. You know, when you peddle lies and report information that even the ordinary Kenyan is rejecting, even their own voters are doubtful about that, is that you use the normal processes that are in existence. And which are those processes? First of all, they disputed the election. They went to court. They went to the Supreme Court of the Republic of Kenya. Unanimous decision by our judges, who are from all parts of Kenya. They don't belong to Jubilee. They don't belong to one ethnic group from Jubilee. they represent a cross-section of our Kenyan population. They are our most respected land colleagues at that level. What happened? They said the elections were fair and free, and they declared President Uhuru Kenyatta the legally elected president of the Republic of Kenya. There are other methods, like institutions. The leader of CORD at that time admitted and said that he accepts the decision of the... So why 10, 11 months later do you hammer this drum as if it is stuck on one particular tune? Boom, 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 every day. Why don't they move on to prepare? 2017 is not too far. But I think what has happened here is that in the last election was a mortal, fatal wound on ODM and CORD in particular. It appears that they are now sensing that their ability to win elections has been exhausted. The biggest opportunity they've had to win the elections was 2013. They have lost that, and they have no hope even in 2017, because we would be massing the same machinery, the same campaign to win the next election as well, and they would remain in the wilderness of opposition if they don't change their ways.
What do you want to say?
Let me say two things. What we are talking about here is that you can only have valid and legitimate elections if we have firm institutional reforms. And we are saying whether they are...
the Electoral Commission was reformed.
It is very far from reform, I can tell you. I can tell
because
you,
it didn't give
because
you the victory.
Let me tell you, and it is something we are going to fight for. And I can tell you they have a good reason for defending it, as rotten as that institution is. Okay. And we need an impartial arbiter. If one side of a political participant
that would declare you the winners,
there is a problem, and then really we need to look at that problem. I mean, as we speak,
let me ask you a question
isn't the chief executive officer of the then electoral commission in court over what?
Let me ask you a question.
If it is reformed.
Before you go on, there was an interim electoral commission.
Yes.
Whose chairmanship was? Who was the chairman?
No, I can't quite remember. I think it is the same chair we have for the...
It was confirmed.
Yes, it was confirmed.
Was he confirmed by Jubilee?
Certainly.
Who confirmed him?
I mean, the government then. But I can tell you one thing. Do you remember? Do you remember the referendum we had in 2005? Commissioner Kivuitu's team did it very well. Did they do that well in 2007? What I'm saying is that institutional reforms are progressive. They are never static. And we may say the Electoral Commission is reformed. But I'm asking, why are the top leadership of that commission being taken to court on criminal charges related to the election we are talking about? We need institutional reform.
Are they Jubilee?
No, I don't know, and I don't care. What I'm saying is that that institution, to serve Kenyans well, must be reformed, whether they are Jubilee or CORD. In fact, they should not be either side. But I'm saying they must be reformed. We have confirmed cases of corruption. The commissioners at the top, I mean, people like the former chief executive officer, is not a small person in the commission. He's in court over what charges? The failures of gadgets and the corrupt manner in which these gadgets were procured. I mean, those are the issues being tried. We need reform of the security apparatus in the country. And we may bury our heads and say, we have... but look at it. Why would you have, in any sane country, the director CID, the head of National Intelligence Service, the chief of defense forces, from one ethnic formation? Are you saying they are the ones who can lead? And by the way, once you look at that, look at institutional reforms in the state law sector. And these are realities. Whether they are saying they want to govern for eternity, you want to question whether they are governing properly. Look at the AG's office. Let us now go to the core of the matter. The Attorney General, which now combines the former Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. The Solicitor General, who is the equivalent of the Principal Secretary in that ministry, because to me it is a proper ministry now. The Senior Deputy Solicitor General, the Chief Litigation Counsel, the Registrar Marriages, Registrar Societies, Registrar Companies, Registrar General, Registrar Political Parties, all from one ethnic formation. Where does it happen in the country?
Qualified?
Where does it happen in the country? And you may talk about qualifications, but remember the interview we undertook when we were vetting the Solicitor General, for instance. You know, there is possibly better lawyers across the country. It is the problem we have in Parliament. And by the way, before Kenyans, look at it and appreciate and begin to side with us, you may take us as an effective opposition. But remember, in Parliament, anything being debated there as to be approved by the office of the Speaker. Many are the motions we want to debate which will never see the light of day in the table. Many are the issues we disagree on when you see them being called, my brother Yussuf and others, being called at State House before those motions come. And when they come to the House, you've watched the debates. You want to engage, you want to discuss a matter of national importance. People come from State House with one chorus, put the question, and they shout aye and go for tea. Look at what we've done to bills. In fact, we are taking the Kenyan country so far back. I can tell you, before you agree to be with us, listen to us. Did you know Yussuf and his team amended the Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Act to permit Parliament to alter the report? In fact, expunge the names of people implicated. And we are shouting there, we don't agree that the minority are minority because they are few. They have a problem. The numbers will carry the day. If Speaker put the question and it is passed. Did you know in Kenya today, even after you get, compensation in a road accident matter, you still have to prove your case before the insurer to be paid? And you must commit to go for mediation and arbitration.
I don't understand the relevancy of this to our discussion.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that we have a leadership problem in the Jubilee side in the House. They have the numbers. We cannot deny them the numbers. But they should remember we are in a presidential system. And in that system, Parliament works impartially and independent of the executive. I mean, listen to my brother talking about the president. You think he's forgetting he's a member of Parliament. He imagines he's in the executive. Look at the majority leader talking in the National Assembly. You question whether this is the majority leader of Parliament or really somebody in the executive. The executive is outside there. Let us support the government with good legislation, good policies to work. But I'm saying, if elections were rigged as they were, of course we need to prepare to win them. That is why ODM in particular is having their elections, which they are not having themselves. Ask them when they are having theirs.
You want to respond?
Yes, I think I welcome the honourable member for admitting that we have the numbers in Parliament, which means if you have numbers in Parliament, also you had an overwhelming majority